Today we got with us David DaCosta from San Marcos. I want to introduce you to him or introduce yourself to the community here.
Thank you, Victor. Yes, as Victor said, my name is David DaCosta. I am a local real estate specialist, North County, living in San Marcos for the last 7 years. Prior to that, I was coastal. Just glad to be here and in this fine city.
Morning, David.
Morning.
So tell me a little bit about San Marcos, more about why you think people are running to San Marcos and wanting to live here.
Well, I think one of the big reasons is the affordability issue. Everybody wants to live on the coast, but of course that's limited. It's very expensive. So you can come inland another 10, 15 minutes, and the location of San Marcos is ideal. The climate is ideal, and you have a lot of room. It's still growing. So there is new growth, which means young families love that. They have some of the finest schools in the area. Not to forget that San Marcos, from an educational standpoint, has become the hub of North County. Why? Because of an institution called Cal State San Marcos, which is the San Diego State of North County and is just growing by leaps and bounds. You drive by there any day, the amount of cranes that you see in the air. I mean, it's just amazing what that organization is doing for the area.
Yeah, I showed up here in San Marcos about, when I was 15, so many years ago. And I remember when there was nothing on top of San Elijo Hill. I think there was like one house, and I'm probably over exaggerating, but everybody should talk about that. There's a crazy guy up there, and everybody was saying, yeah, everybody was scared to go on that side of the hill.
Yeah.
Now you got all these mansion and $1 million homes, and you're right. Everybody wants to live in this area. It's like the next Irvine,
Well,
community.
correct. And the whole city is going through a rebirth. You have one of the biggest, actually over $100 million of infrastructure that was just completed. And you have a project called North City West, where they developed over the creek that used to flood out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been solved and it's just booming. There's commercial zones popping up. You have the old restaurant row, which is currently in a state of almost demolition. And you're going to have townhomes and mixed use development going in there. So everywhere you look, it's just a blur of activity and very exciting place to be.
I just found out this weekend that old Sears building
Yeah.
right next to the theater,
Okay.
they're going to use it. They're actually going to make some apartments or condominiums.
So-
That's correct.
Are they the condominiums that are going to have the storefronts below them as well?
Yes, Lennar is the actual developer of that, and they're going to redo the old restaurant row as
Yeah.
well as that old Sears building.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, that Sears building's been empty for as long as I've known. I don't
Probably
think
10
I've,
years.
yeah, even longer because I don't even remember being in there, even when I first moved.
No, I don't either. I always thought that building was abandoned. I didn't even know it was working.
Well, you know how San Marcos has arrived, don't you? We have a Costco and a business Costco at that. So, I mean, I'm being facetious, but we have just about everything here. We have the mall here as well. So that's a good source of tax for the city. Your average home, if you mix a single family home with condos, is right at $1 million, $999,000. Single homes are $1 million too, which is, again, it's expensive to anyone, but in terms of the county, it's right at the median price. So it's still somewhat affordable. And you have space, so you still have some new development going on.
So let me ask you this question. Because I'm from Temecula, but what's something that would bring me to San Marcos? Like what would be just talking to anybody else and maybe listening that's outside the area, what's something that would want to bring us to San Marcos?
Well, like I said, the education is here. If you have families and kids that are growing at all levels, from kindergarten all the way to the college level, then you have an area. In fact, there's a anachronism for San Marcos. They call it San Parcos because we have some incredible parks and trails in the area. So if you like nature and you like outdoors, and we still have that rural feel in certain parts. And there are, two parts to San Marcos. You have the north side of the 78 and then the south side. What brings you though is those attractions of the education, the good family life, very wholesome feel to it. And you have shopping, again, everything else you basically need to survive.
Right. Okay.
And a little bit of sports. Ricky's going to talk later on
Yes.
today, but San Marcos is really good.
San Marcos High School.
What's going on there? Just a tad bit. Tell me.
Oh, don't give it all away.
Yeah, they did. They went all the way to the CIO final, San Diego sector, and they, to be determined. I'll let you guys know the rest later in my sports report. But yeah, they did it. I think they lost one league game, and then they went all the way to the ship and fell short. But they had an amazing season.
Nice.
We know one of the coaches there, so he was telling me throughout the season, every time he'd come in, he'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it." I said, "Then show me," and he did. So
Yeah, I had a daughter who went to school in San Marcos, and I can say we enjoyed every part of San Marcos school district, like especially with she went to Mission Hills, and we really enjoyed the fact that Mission Hills is trying to get these kids that are going to graduate and probably not go to college because of how expensive it is, and giving them ROP like teaching, like teaching them how to cook and teaching them how to do different skills when they graduate from high school, because they might go to community college and might not go away to college, but at least they have these skills to come out and get a job, and we are very impressed by that.
Yeah, San Marcos High is one of the top-rated schools in the area, and they put, again, a major overhaul into that 8 years ago, 10 years ago. That campus is like a college campus.
Oh, it's a beauty.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if Ricky's seen
that's
it
the one
yet.
down here on the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you step inside, I mean, it's multi-level and it's a beauty. It's probably better than regular college.
It looks like an East Coast school. All the East Coast schools have everything inside, right? All the classes are inside. I love it too. It looks really beautiful there.
Anything else? Anything new going on here in San Marcos, or what people should expect coming up?
Well, like I said, in terms of development, it will continue to develop because there's still those pockets of space where people can move and get a newer home, brand new home, or they can redo another home. Where I live is an area called Lake San Marcos, which is a little pocket. It's actually part of San Diego County, so not part of San Marcos per se, but just another little gem for seniors. And speaking of seniors, I'm a senior, so one of the big draws for older people to the area as well is the fact that there's a lot of senior building going on. And I'm talking retirement homes and community centers where they can live and thrive and, to a ripe old age, so to speak.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the mobile home parks, the senior ones, they were. I'm not sure if it got passed but they were trying to adjust the age range, and which would affect different age groups to come in to that manufacturer home, and would affect pricing. So that was a huge fight, recently.
Yes, you're very right, Victor. The city council stepped in and they basically banned it. They put a moratorium on that increase, if you will, and that age change for 45 days. So my feeling is that will continue, and they'll continue to fight for the senior movement, because being on a fixed income and not being able to increase the income is tough. So they need some help for when it comes to prices. And, going back to the housing situation in San Marcos, we've got single families, we've got room for first-time homeowners, we've got room for move-up buyers in the community, and we also have an abundance of manufactured homes. But again, for those on a lower budget, there's something here for everyone.
Nice. And of course, affordable housing everywhere too. Right?
Oh,
That's the question, right? What is affordable housing? What is affordable?
Yeah. Oh man.
Instead of $5,000 a month, we're gonna give you for 4,500 a month.
Oh,
So you need to let me know
Still.
what affordable is so I can let my boss know so that I can transplant to San Marcos so he can help me to be able to sustain life in San Marcos.
I gotta make you low income. So we'll talk to our
Whatever.
HR for that.
Yeah.
So
We know
Oh, never
people.
mind.
We know people, man. We can get you approved.
this is recorded, right? Because he wants me to
Yeah.
lower his pay.
Evidence.
Nice.
So is that all you've done is sell houses, real estate, or what else have you done?
Well, I'm a native of Jamaica, so I came here late 70s, 77, and been here, thrived, married, raised a family, have two beautiful daughters, and they're both married, and I have one gorgeous granddaughter. And, if I was quick at my cell phone, I'd show you a quick picture.
Yeah.
But so those are the things that keep me going, my family. In terms of what have I done in that period of time? I owned a local restaurant, my wife and I, in Encinitas while I was in corporate America. So I
Oh,
was
nice.
burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
you're supposed to ask me what kind of
I
restaurant.
was just about to. Yeah.
Well, being a native of Jamaica, it was a true Jamaican Caribbean
Jerk
food.
chicken.
Jerk chicken. We did it along the whole fried fish.
Did you cook it in the oil barrel?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We had the Jamaican drinks to go with that, and then we had the real music groups as well. We had a lot of reggae acts in. In fact, sometimes those guys from the belly up, the big stars would come in and they'd play a night for us. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, how fun.
They enjoyed just being here for the food.
That was right in the middle of Encinitas too, right there.
Oh, was it?
It was Jamrock 101
Mhm.
because the address was 101 North Coast Highway 101.
Oh,
in
that's
Encinitas.
What an address.
Yes, yeah, that's cool. Very good.
And then again, being in corporate America for my whole working life, being in business development primarily, just enjoyed it. And then got my real estate license in 2001 and decided I was going to kind of do that once I left corporate America. And that came about 10 years ago, and now I do 100% real estate, specializing in the senior marketplace, downsizing with distinction.
Yeah. Yeah, that restaurant business can really wear down on them bones. So
I was in it just long enough to enjoy it and
Yeah.
just short enough to know that there's other things to do.
yeah.
Yeah, I love cooking. I'd love to own a restaurant.
Ugh. Watch your words, brother.
No, it's
I've
fun.
cooked and worked in many restaurants and line cooks, you name it, and it's hard work to,
Yeah.
to own a restaurant.
Well, funny actually when I was younger, I was basically handed a restaurant, and we were in the middle of negotiation. I went into the restaurant. I took over the restaurant without contracts, but I just wanted to see what it was like. I was there about 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days later, I gave him back the keys.
You're on good.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, this is hard. I mean, the restaurant business is real hard. It's
You're
not,
there
it's
every
not
day.
easy. Oh yeah,
Every
definitely, definitely.
It has a very short lifespan, and it doesn't matter how much money you have because you can have $2 million restaurants that go out of business in 6 months versus,
Well, look at San Marcos. I mean, I feel really bad for a lot of the restaurants that are coming and going for the past 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, the Elephant Bar?
Oh yeah, that's gone now.
And then that turned into.
I think that's a Cane's now.
Yeah, that's a Cane's.
Mhm.
But before Cane's, it was a Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. And they didn't make it. That was kind of tough for them. It was sad. It's sad to see business owners
Yeah.
have to leave. San Marcos. So
Yeah, I can get
yes.
one. Do you do commercial real estate as well?
very little. I have a network of commercial realtors that I work with, so
Mm-hmm.
I might do 2% of my transactions in commercial,
Okay.
but normally I'll refer that out to one of my trusted partners.
Very nice.
And how's the industry right now? I know it's tough because rates are high and stuff like that. So
Well, rates are high in comparison to what? If you look at the last 40 years, rates have probably averaged 9%. And currently, by that standard, it's low. Right now, it's 7 or mid sixes. My first house was 13% back in 1982. So again, depending on what you're comparing it to. Yes, it is high. We do expect the rates to go down. That's what the feds are calling for. Maybe in the low sixes, maybe 6%, or maybe the high fives at the end of 2025. But that remains to be seen. The conundrum is the high interest rate, because if we could get it down into the very low six or the high fives, you'd see a lot more deals happening. And right now there is a bit of a logjam because high interest rates, not a lot of inventory out there still.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the affordability. People can't qualify. Not everybody has cash or 20 or 30 or 40% down payment to make. So that's a struggle.
Right.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
Any questions, Ricky?
No, that's very informative.
Did I pass?
Yeah.
I think we'll have him back, right, Victor?
Oh yeah, definitely. He could tell us about Encinitas markets and stuff like that.
Or we can do a little tell us about Jamaica when you were growing up.
Oh man.
We can definitely do a taste test. Can you still cook?
Well, I wasn't a cook. I had a manager, chef, cook, and my wife was also the cook. She got trained.
Oh, good.
And we can only talk Jamaican, so next time we can do the podcast like this. How is
Let's
that?
go, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, bro.
Bring it to me, man.
All right, no problem.
Nice. So how often do you go back to Jamaica?
I do, not often enough. The last time was 5.5 years ago.
Okay. And you have family over there?
My parents have since passed, but I have cousins and some uncles and aunts. So yes, I do enjoy going back. And
Big family?
it was. Now there's a diaspora. They're all over the world.
Yeah.
You name
wow.
it. Look at me in San Diego, Australia, I got Canada,
Wow.
you name it.
Oh wow. Nice.
Could only stay on the island so long.
Yeah, you have to get over the water and come to the mainland.
Oh,
So where do you recommend any Jamaican food here now that you're gone? I mean, where are you going?
Well, there is my favorite place is down in San Diego by 30th and Market. And the name is slipping me right now. I don't want to give out one of the best secrets. But if you Google Jamaican food in San Diego, it will come up.
30th and Market.
30th and Market.
That's a rough area.
that is rough. I wouldn't think there would be any Jamaican restaurants around here, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been a Jamaican establishment for probably 25, 30 years. The
Okay.
original restaurant was called Island Spice, and that moved out on El Cajon Boulevard, closer to 70th Street, 70th and El Cajon, somewhere like that. But the one that came in there, whose name I'm still not going to give away because I can't remember it.
He's cracking, guys. He's cracking.
He's trying to save him. He's
You
like,
just know how to get there,
he doesn't want us to blow it up. We'll be there every week.
The car knows how to get there.
It's like taco shops. Do we even know the names of them? We just know where
It's
to
just
go.
that one
That
right
spot
there.
right on the corner next to this.
But actually, you guys have probably heard of the Jamaican patty, which is like a empanada, in Spain or in Mexico. And that's a seasoned filling with a nice light pastry crust. And Costco business now have them there in their frozen section. So
Oh.
you can buy a box of
There you
them.
go.
I'm
They
going
are
to
the real deal. But don't do them microwave. Put them in a toaster oven for like 30 minutes and you're happy.
Nice. Well, it was nice to have you here on the podcast. We appreciate you. And
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Victor, thank you. And I'll be in for an oil change very soon. All right. Thank
Okay.
you guys.
All right,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah.